What is governance? Governance is referring to any policy standards maker. Governance is to govern, and govern is to monitor and control, to set some strategic guidelines, right? Something to be done in this way, something to be done in a standard way, or something could not be done in this way. That's where guideline come into the picture. So all this require some sort of authority, and who can authorize this? Only customer, because customer is generally paying, and customer is aligning the strategic guideline from their customers. They are delivering certain services to their end customer. And in governance, you will have one board, and board is generally taking care of, policies, or rather they are authorized to approve the policies. Let me put it this way. They are accountable for the outcomes, not output. Outcomes is nothing else, but they are referring to customer is really happy about these services. Decision making of what kind of decisions which are supposed to be coming on the table of a board, and they are taking care of those decisions. Sometime unavailability of governance, or lack of governance, or governance ineffectiveness can lead to a lot of challenges and chaos. So effectiveness of this governance is prime and essential. So activities carried out through a governance board in form of structural element of a SIAM layer. What is the structural element here? Again, strategic, tactical, and operational. At the strategic level, customer is sitting, commissioning organization. At the tactical level, service integrator is sitting, who is taking the inputs from customer, aligning with customer, having a collaborative relationship with service provider, and working with service provider. What is required by customer is delivered. So that's why they are tactical. Operational layer in the structural element is service provider, typical organization who are delivering deliveries, services to the customer via service integrator, because the integration component is taken care by service integrator. They all work together and they form a SIAM ecosystem. And when we talk about strategic aspect, that has coming input from COBIT, who is firmly governance, kind of ensuring governance. What kind of governance is required? How governance can be effective? Do we have an effective governance guideline? That all is coming from COBIT. And COBIT has three aspects: evaluation, directions, and monitor. Evaluation is nothing but what kind of evaluation mechanism I should put it at the governance level, so there are no issues, right? There is a process which is in the place to bring something on the table and which goes to the customer, right? Via certain extrapolation, certain guidelines. Direct is they give a directions, right? Governance give the direction. Monitor is when something is being set, there are defined frequency based monitoring aspects supposed to be in the guideline, and they are executed accordingly. So this three activities at the COBIT governance to be managed by strategic level of structural element at the customer level. When we talk about tactical, who is the layer between strategic and operational? So they are taking care of evolution aspect, they are taking care of direction aspect, they are taking care of monitoring aspect. However, from where? From typical operational layer, who is supposed to plan for certain activities, build those, run those, and monitor those. So any change, any issues, any programs, any projects, any transition, right? Any improvements is taken care by operations team, right? Along with tactical structural element, and take a governance approval from a strategic organization, they move forward. So for all this, there is a board which come into the picture, and board number of boards can be increased based on SIAM implementation. So SIAM model is balancing the governance requirement, number of board meetings, and outcome-based achievement. So whenever there is a board meeting happens, there are important, critical 3 top achievements and 3 top risks has to be really present there in the board meeting. Board members are decided. The frequency is decided. Generally, board meetings are happening every quarterly. In smaller organization, it can happen half yearly once. But generally, it is expected to done at least 2 in a year. But in a larger organization, it can have a quarterly once. And it can be some small board meeting can happen of a specific aspects to be taken care, specific decisions to be taken care, specific monitoring aspect. Let's say big product launch. For that, probably you can have a typical forum or a process working group which is created. They eventually work with SI work with customer, and customer have a board of this all people, form a board, and this board will meet frequently, at least monthly, if a 6 month of the timeline to deliver any product, launch any product. So they maybe meet monthly once, and they have a meeting accordingly. So coming back to number of board meetings, typical attendees. So customer organization is much critical here. They are prime, essential. Even tactical organization will have some typical board member. And then you will have one other service provider's top guy. If you have a multiple service provider, then that can have a multiple board members. So 5 to 7 kind of people who will be working. Typically, what is the objective of the board, and based on the members can be added into that. What are the typical examples? Like integrated change advisory board. So integrated change advisory board is nothing but any change which is going to be launched. It should really go through a change management process, and how change can be evaluated, how change can be planned, how change is executed, how change is monitored and tracked, right? Post deployment, right? All these activities are taken care at the highest level. How this is happening, right? What is happened? When supposed to happen? That typical plan has to be verified, reviewed during this change advisory board. Now, change advisory board does only 2 activities: approve and reject, and ensure things are happening on time. And they look at when things are happening on time and happening or not. If it will not happen, if it will happen, what is the risk if we have any risk? If there is no risk, it's okay. And if we are trying to deliver something which is really critical, then we need to have a backout plan. On top of it, we are delivering something is working in operations already, and I'm trying to move it, something on top of it. So we need to have backout plan, risk management also to be executed. Information security advisory, it's again whatever policy has set at the organization level, how it is being executed, campaign awareness, testing, information security effectiveness, all is supposed to be taken care through this. Service continuity, again, same thing, based on 24/7 type of contractual requirements or service continuity is concerned, they will be taken care through this. For any services which are running all the time, every time, 24/7, like availability of the systems coming into the picture, 99% or more than that. So what happens is you bring infrastructure alignment accordingly, you deliver the application accordingly, and you do a business impact analysis, BIA. And this BIA's value or information, they're kind of a guideline to be executed or not correctly, and aligning risk to be discussed in the board of that. Program board, again, program can be of any of the program which is running, and you have a board for the same. And again, the plan will be there of a board. And for that, you will running those activities, they are running as per the plan or not, all that will be also taken care here. Then you have operational forums. So starting from incident and problem, knowledge, continual improvement, capacity, information assurance and security, transition planning, service continuity, service monitoring. Then working groups can be also there. They are working probably together to achieve effectiveness on the system, on the typical SIAM ecosystem. So they work maybe weekly, all these working groups, and forums are working monthly to ensure how are things happening. And there will be a one person from service integrator who is supposed to be take care of this activity. So this is how the governance is taking care, and this is how SIAM ecosystem work automatically with the set governance, and things are happening automatically. Once it goes for the auto mode, it becomes a ways of working. So we don't have to do anything. It works again auto.